I think we're about ready to get started. And first thing we're doing is Brett Barker, who has been a friend of mine for a long time. He's been in Nevada for a long time. I first got to know Brett when he first came to Nevada as a pharmacist. The place that he works is the pharmacist that I have gone to for years, and so I've known Brett prior to even the time when he was the mayor. He became mayor of Nevada. He's done a great job as mayor and has gotten a lot of great things accomplished for the city of Nevada. And I think he at this time is, and I'm stepping down from the legislature. I've done this now this is coming up, this section will be my 18th year, and I've joked with my friends that when they say, why are you retiring? I say, well, 18 years was enough. Actually, probably 14 years was probably enough. but you know, it's time. It's just time. I've gotten most of the things accomplished that I wanted to get accomplished in the legislature, and so it's a good time for me for not just those reasons and for personal reasons. It's time to just retire and spend some more time with grandkids and those type of things. So. And Brett is wanting to step up and take this on, and you know, I'm really happy. You know, obviously you think you want to leave it to somebody that you personally like, and somebody who is competent and has the ability to do the job. And Brett is absolutely competent and able to do this, and I think we'd be lucky to have him as a state representative here in this part of the state. And so at this time, I'll turn the mic over to Brett and let him tell you a little bit more about what his thoughts are.
Thank you, Dave. Well, first, I'll just say thank you all for coming out this morning. I know it's Monday morning of Christmas week. We all have a lot of things that we need to be doing right now, and it really means the world to me to look around and see so many of my friends here with us this morning. And I do want to thank some very important people first. So my beautiful wife, Tracy, and our 4 girls are here, Ella, Lexi, Grayson, and Hannah. So they all have been helping put this on and getting all the refreshments ready to go and getting signs up and all that good stuff. And I couldn't do anything that I do without their love and support. So they're the first people I want to thank. Also want to thank, I also want to thank Representative Dio. He's absolutely been a mentor to me. I've really gotten to know him throughout the years and watch him work, watch how he's represented this district, and want to thank him for all of his many years of service. And obviously, you know, this is a decision I didn't take lightly. Honestly, it's something I've prayed about for quite some time. As you all know, I really love my work here with the city. I love representing this community as mayor and being its biggest cheerleader, and that's a role that's really rewarding for me. However, you know, I also came to Iowa over 20 years ago, showed up at the University of Iowa, was not intending to stay, and I mean, I've got people that knew me back then here in this room, which is really cool, but you know, I really fell in love with this state, and I look around and I see the majority of counties in this state losing population and in decline, and there's only a handful of counties that are actually growing. And you know, the Iowa that we know really is on the line here to preserve that for the next generation. And you know, even as a kid when I was in Florida growing up, I knew the importance of Iowa's education system and that foundation education. It's something that I remember taking the Iowa Test of Basic Skills, not even knowing where Iowa was, but knowing how important education was in the state of Iowa. And you know, I have continued to watch as our 3 Regents universities bring people from all over the world and we educate them. We educate our own children and then they leave. One of our biggest exports in the state of Iowa is our own educated workforce. And you know, what can we do to get more people like me to fall in love with this state and to stay in this state and raise the next generation in this state? Because it's really about making it a place that our young people want to stay and raise their own families. And you know, so I want to make sure that I'm running to make sure that Iowa is a place that you can do that. And in order to do that, we need policymakers in Des Moines that understand policy and are able to enact policy that allows rural Iowa to thrive. And you know, that's honestly the type of leader I am. You know, it's something, I kind of chuckled because if you would have asked people that knew me as a kid, they never would have seen me in the front of the room with a microphone. I was absolutely terrified. But I'm really the type of person that really started, on the city council, digging into policy. That's more of my skill set there. And, I've been blessed over the last 2 decades to really dig deep in a lot of areas of policy that directly translate to the issues that they deal with at the state capitol. In the last 2 years, I've been down there the majority of days during session working on health policy and pharmacy policy at the Capitol and seeing it more up close and what our legislators do. And when I think about those issues, like I said, they directly translate. So whether that's healthcare affordability and access, Medicaid policy, economic development, and that includes agriculture, renewable energy, foster care, Main Street revitalization, tax policy, broadband, those are all things that I've had a chance to work on, whether through my professional life or my role here at the city. And those are all things that I would look forward to working on in Des Moines. And, we also, with today's changing economy and the nature of remote work, I think more than ever, Iowa's set up to really have a rural renaissance. And if you look around Nevada here, and those of you that are familiar with Nevada, you can see it, and you can feel it, and you can see all the work that we've done. We've had unprecedented economic development and job growth. Just this last summer, Nevada was responsible for more than half of the projects in the economic development pipeline in Boone and Story counties combined. And that's really testament to the work that has been put in building blocks to make this community attractive to employers. And our Main Street's undergone tremendous transformation, and we're just getting started. There's more restaurants coming, we have a brewery coming, our historic theater is being renovated, and that's really gonna make our Main Street a place that attracts more people to the community, because when people are considering where to live, they look at the Main Street, and they really judge a community by the Main Street. How does it look? How does it feel? Do people have pride in their community? And that's something that all of Iowa can really learn from and through the Main Street program. We have hundreds of units of housing in various stages of development to provide opportunities for housing to go along with that job growth. We achieved citywide broadband deployment. We've added recreational quality of life opportunities here in the community. And we did all of that while also ensuring that the underserved in the community have helping hands and aren't left behind. And that's something we've also tried to work on, is make sure that we get our residents attached to programs that help them, whether it's helping them with home renovations or food assistance or whatever they need. We've tried to work on that locally as well. But by every measure, Nevada's thriving. It'll continue to be a community that attracts families. And I'm excited to work at the state level to ensure that all of our communities have those resources so that all of them can thrive. And in order to do that, obviously I need your help, and you all came out this morning, which is, like I said, really, really special to me. I'd encourage you to go to my website, barkforiowa.com. You can post on social media, tell your friends, consider a donation. We have some really awesome t-shirts back there for anyone who's been kind enough to contribute. So you can do that online, or there's a little box. But together we can make sure that Iowa continues to thrive, particularly rural Iowa continues to thrive. And again, I want to thank you all for being here this morning.